Facebook Living?
Yeah.
Live Facebook.
Careful what you say, Judy.
It's better than YouTube.
It is better.
Do I need headphones? Nope.
Alright. We're going in.
Oh,
It's 4 p.m. and time for the Chips N Salsa
Yeah, you can
Show
use those.
here
No,
on
you
Central
can't use
City
those.
Radio,
Now you can.
FM.
Your amigos in salsa are in the Molcajete now. George
Sounds like you,
Ortiz,
Alice.
Alice Lara, the only one on radio who makes sense.
Alright, here we go.
This is the Chips N Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara here in the Molcajete, Central City Radio, King FM. We're here every Saturday at 4 p.m. Normally, you would be listening to our good friend George Ortiz the Alacran. But you know what? He isn't here today. He's in Ohio. We're hoping he's going to call in. He's at the GOP convention. But in his place, we have the wonderful Auggie Bartning, who's joining us as a co-host. Hey, Auggie.
Hi, Alice.
So glad to have you back.
Yeah, good to see you again.
Right on. Also in our Molcajete, if this is the first time you've listened to our show, what we are is we're conservative Latinos. We offer a conservative Latino perspective, politics, pop culture. We talk about all kinds of stuff here, as Auggie well knows. He's done this before. And also with us at the helm, taking care of us, is the owner of Central City Radio, and that is Julian Allison. And filming us on Facebook, live broadcast on our Facebook site, Chips N Salsa Show is Secret Sonia. Secret Sonia. And she's doing a great job. So if
Point the camera at yourself.
go to our Facebook site, steer people there. If you
No
share
facing
it,
the camera at
it'll be
me.
on our timeline as well. Or go to Facebook and talk to the lovely divine Dion on camera. She's there taking care of our Facebook as well too. And we have a guest. We do have Judy Davila. Did I get the name right on?
Yes, that's correct.
We've blown your cover now, Judy. She is on the board of directors for Los Abogados. And if you don't know, that's attorneys in Spanish, right?
Yes, I think so.
We might get her to come in here and talk a little bit. We've got a really good show, Auggie, today. I want to tell our audience about it real quick. And then I want to talk to you about some stuff. We have, in the next segment, we're going to be talking to Andy Zhang. Zhang. I know I'm going to mess up your name, so he's going to teach us how to pronounce his name correctly. But I just met Andy, and guess what? We're going to have a conservative running on the school district for Roosevelt School District and the school board.
That'll be nice.
Woo, unbelievable. So we can talk to him. And then after that, we also have Nohl Rossen. Nohl was on our show last night. We do a show on KFNX at 8 p.m., 1100. And he was at the Black Lives Matter protest. He is a big supporter of the police, and he's going to give us a report on all the kinds of stuff that happened.
So was the protest already done by 8 o'clock last night?
No, I think that's about when it got started.
Oh, okay,
And
so-
we talked to him about 8:30.
Oh, so he missed the action, most of it.
I don't know. He said that he got there. There was quite a
Oh.
stuff going on. Did you go to him? Were you there?
No, I wasn't there. Did you?
No, we were doing the radio show and waiting to talk to know.
Would you have gone?
You know what? Probably not. I would
No.
not have gone because I don't get into that. And there's so much now you can see on Facebook. Last Friday after that home from the show, I didn't go to my television. It was interesting. They had the TV on, but there was more information that appeared to be on Facebook because there was somebody and they were broadcasting live from there, and you're getting all these tidbits and things that you wouldn't see on television. It's interesting what is happening in the world. Would you go in that big crowd?
Probably not.
Yeah.
I mean, especially you see all of the shootings that are happening at the protests and just kind of the risk involved with that.
Right.
And it just seems like there's other ways you can get involved if you want to make a difference.
You know, we got 1 minute, and I want to talk to you about this later on in the segment, but what I want to do is go on out. We have a wonderful sponsor, and that is the Jablonski Real Estate Group, and I'm really excited about them. They are a husband-wife team, Jessica and Jeffrey Jablonski. In fact, they're our neighbors. And they are a team of specialists in each area of business with agents that specialize in first-time home buyers, investors, luxury, etc. And their goal is to meet all your real estate needs. I recommend them. Anyone looking to buy or sell, maybe you're like Mark and I, we're not really ready to sell, but we'd like to know what our home is worth. Call them. You can call Jessica or Jeffrey at the Jablonski Real Estate Group, 480-420-3777. That's the Jablonski Real Estate Group, 480-420-3777. But stay tuned because we've got a lot more to come here on the Chips N Salsa Show. I'm Alice Lara here with
Auggie Bartning.
So don't go away. We'll be back before you know it. Get your work on.
How many minutes is that?
That was fast with 6 minutes.
Okay.
Fast as 6 minutes. That
Let's
That's pretty
get
fast,
you
right?
a chair, Andy, and then you can hold that microphone right
Were you just that interesting, Alice? That
Mine
the
just
time
right
went so quickly?
There's a lot that you want to get out because
especially in that first segment, you want to get it good. Get it.
So, all right. Well, Andy will come in.
You're not staying on?
No, you're gonna be.
Oh, okay. All right. I was like, what?
Ain't you a part of the show?
I thought so, but I don't know.
I
You know,
go anywhere.
here's the boss lady,
Don't
so
go anywhere.
that's what they called her the last meeting I was at.
Boss lady.
Like, hey, boss lady.
Who said that?
Remember that guy was? No, it was not Ron. It was Bruce.
Oh, yeah, Bruce the Nicholas.
Yeah.
I used up all your lotion,
So I was looking at
Sonya.
I was
It's
looking at
okay.
this
I got more.
Solo
Yeah,
Chihuahua,
Yeah.
and I was thinking back to the mariachi days.
Dang,
No, I
God.
have
Up
my-
there on windows.
So,
Uh-huh.
I have my.
Is this yours, Julian?
No, it's mine.
Apparently, someone put it right there so I can look dead at me. It's creepy.
It's mine from the dollar store. He is not a very attractive
Yeah,
chihuahua.
the dollar store.
Kind of looks like me.
I guarantee you he did.
Oh, he does look like
I'm willing to
me.
bet you he did.
I have Dean this weekend too.
Do you?
Yeah.
You should have brought him in.
I don't think that's a
Store
good idea.
right now.
Oh, yeah, Arthur's a calm one.
Arthur's a couple.
Dean's a crazy.
He's a chihuahua.
Dean's a chihuahua. He just lost his chihuahua. I mean,
A while ago, in Tempe actually.
You mean he died or he lost?
No, she ran off. I was on vacation. And so
Oh, you literally lost your chihuahua.
we sent her to my friend's place.
That's what I wonder. Are there so many stray chihuahuas because they just get lost?
we've seen
That's
there's a lot of
yeah, they rescued her off.
Because you know, being at my house, he's figured out to crawls under the gate,
Oh, they be. Oh,
and he'll end up in my front
all right,
door.
1 minute. 1 minute.
Hey, could you come in with the
Tom Jones? Oh, glad you reminded me.
And that
Yes.
will take care of it?
Tom
We're gonna wish happy
Jones.
birthday to my nephew.
Okay.
His birthday's tomorrow, and when he was a kid, this is Tom Jones. You will. So I'm wishing him
Oh, you're gonna put on Tom Jones?
I'm gonna put on Tom Jones unless Alice wants to sing it.
I'll sing it. You won't want me to. Is that Andy? We've done karaoke.
Oh,
Which
word?
doesn't mean anything. But you know what? Andy's a singer.
There was no one there.
Andy's a singer.
Really?
Yeah, well, not professional, right?
So you're gonna bring in Tom Jones?
I see him play guitar on the side,
Ah.
and I don't make any money out of it.
That's bad. We made money
I
off
should have brought your guitar. That'd be cool.
Yeah, they
All right,
basically-
10 seconds. 10 seconds. Tom Jones.
Just stop.
Believe me.
Now.
Learn more at StopTax.
Tom Jones in 2 seconds.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
It's not unusual, Auggie. It isn't.
No.
It's not. This is the Chips N Salsa Show. And we came back in with this beautiful song by Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual, for a very special reason. On some of our sounders, you'll hear a voice. Now it's time for the Chips N Salsa Show, a very deep voice. And that's my nephew, Christopher Lara. And so his birthday is tomorrow, Auggie. And when he was a little boy, he used to love that song, Tom Jones, It's Not Unusual.
Oh, that's nice we
So
can play for
we're
him.
playing for him, and we're wishing him a happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And we also have on Facebook, and one of our followers is Carmen Bettis. And so I told her I'd wish her a happy birthday also today. So happy birthday, Carmen Bettis, Christopher Lara. Her birthday's actually today. And my nephew Christopher shared a birthday with my dad. My dad would like to take him in 94.
Well, happy birthday to him too.
Feliz
Feliz cumpleaños.
Yeah, feliz cumpleaños. Yeah. So we've got the birthdays out of the way, and we have a really special guest coming up here, Auggie. And I know that you have an interest in this because you've followed education here in Arizona. And we have Andy Zhang, and I'm going to spell his name for you, Z-H-A-N-G, because I know I'm massacring it. Welcome, Andy.
Hey, Alice, thanks for having me.
Hey, we're so glad to have you. So first of all, teach us how to say your last name.
Zhang.
Zhang.
Son?
That
Zhang.
sounds about right.
You said it.
I don't know. I don't know. If
Or
Or
that's
like
it.
100 people, they can have 100 different ways to pronounce the name, but
What does that
they're all
mean?
close. That's see, I'm originally from China, right? That's a very unpopular name in China.
It's unpopular?
It's uncommon, or only like 80 million people at this name.
Right.
China, that's.
I was going to say, I've heard that name before.
Yeah.
Does it mean something?
Oh, not really. It
No?
doesn't really mean anything. It's just a name, you know.
What part of China are you from?
I'm from southwest China. It's more like Arizona in China, to some extent.
Oh, more rural?
No, it's southwest.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
the same kind of a
Right.
desert.
But not
Oh.
the geography is similar. The landscape similar? Or just that
Well,
you're
not
in the
quite.
southwest?
It's known for very hot weather, but very hot and humid, not hot and dry.
Uh-huh.
So before we talk about your decision to run for the school board, which I'm very excited about because I live in the Roosevelt School District, how long have you been here and why did you come to America? Give us a little short story on yourself.
Yeah, I came to the States in 1998. Legally.
Ta-da! Thank you.
I came here to attend the business school, so I applied, quite a few business schools to study for the Master of Business Administration. Right? So ASU was gracious enough to offer me a scholarship. So that's why I ended up in Arizona.
ASU's very good at that.
Yeah, it's actually ASU Business School is pretty good. It's one of the top tier business school.
And I think this year they offered everyone a scholarship.
I don't think so.
I heard that rumor.
They offer everything. Is this the, what is it, W.P. Carey School of Business?
Yes, it wasn't called that name back then, but then the school got a donation from the businessman, so it was named the W.P. Carey School of Business.
So you fell in love with Arizona and you decided to come to the state?
Absolutely.
Great. And became a citizen. And
Yes.
You still have a family back in China?
No, I don't have any family in China. Not direct family. Obviously, I have relatives in China. My family, they're all in Georgia. I have my mother and my sister and two lovely nephews who are probably playing Pokemon Go as we speak.
I bet. Wow. We're so glad that you joined us today. What made you decide to run for the Roosevelt School Board?
Yeah, well, it's my long-term desire and goal to serve the community. So obviously, holding public office is one of the best way to do it. So the reason for me to start paying attention to the Roosevelt district, start with the tax bill I received, earlier this year, right? I got a tax bill, and I realized the property tax is unusually high. So I called all my neighbors or whatever had property tax bill. Because I'm a taxpayer in multiple cities. During the past few years, even now I'm paying property tax in, Gilbert, Phoenix, Tempe, Mesa, right? When you compare the property tax here to other cities, my bill in Phoenix, like, wow. So I called them up, called the city. My phone was transferred a few times and got lost. I guess that's how government operates these days. Anyway, that's when I started paying attention to school district. I did some research. What I saw is just shocking, right? You would think, after that much property tax money, we got to get a better school or something, right? Well, that's not the case at all. If you just simply go on the internet and check what school district rankings, Roosevelt basically is the bottom ranking basically. And that's not all, actually. Well, in January this year, it was discovered that over the course of 2 years, the Roosevelt School District, they overspent $4.4 million.
They overspent.
They overspent $4.4 million without anybody noticing. Well, I'm talking about this
How do you even
spending.
do that?
I'm talking about this spending money they didn't have, and they didn't know they didn't have, over the course of 2 years. And that situation lasts 2 years until January this year. Somebody found out.
Sounds like you have your slogan for your campaign.
But I'm trying to wrap my head around that. How do you spend $4.4 million without anyone knowing and without having the money? Were they just using credit cards, or how are they doing this?
I don't know. You got to ask the current school board, I guess.
Have you
I
been
mean-
able to go to a school board meeting yet?
No, I haven't, obviously, but once I know for sure is that these guys, they don't know how to do math, right? So, if our people who are in charge of the school district, they can't do simple math, how the parents can send their kids to the schools? You know, with the confidence their kids can learn basic math.
A very good point. A very good point. So that's your biggest, we got you going.
Yeah, to help you understand what $4.4 million means for the district. See, I did a little bit of research, right? For on Zillow.com, you can see the the average home price in that area. It's approximately $160,000 average house price. So for average homeowner, you would pay a little over $1,000, property tax. Majority would go to school, right? Go to the high school, go to elementary school. Well, let's say $900 goes. Well, that portion $900 goes to school, and half of them go to elementary school, right? So that would translate almost how many? You do the math. If the tax money, if each household contributed $500 to the elementary school, $4.4 million. That's almost like 10,000 households.
That sounds
10,000 houses.
sounds like a lot of the households were not
This-
paying their property taxes.
Yeah, it's astronomical number
It is.
for the district. So
frightening.
this is a total financial disaster for the Rossville School District. And those people, they shouldn't be there anymore.
So we're glad you're running because it sounds like we need some fresh blood, which it's always been a frustration with me and Auggie, I know you feel the same way too. We don't have any conservatives that run the school district too. And Auggie did some research on that.
Yeah, that is true. There's a disproportionate amount of, I mean, it is a nonpartisan race, but if you look at the registrations, typically it tends to lean Democrat on the school board races. But also in South Phoenix, where the registration numbers are overwhelmingly advantage for Democrats, you rarely see Republican ever in a lot of those districts. So I commend you for throwing your hat in there. I just looking at the campaign finance list on the county recorder's office, it looks like there's 8 other people that have filed campaign finance reports.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like you got, I don't know that they'll all submit signatures, but looks like you've got some potential competition with other candidates.
Yeah, I didn't know about much about the competition, but I know for sure all the parents, whether they're Democrats or Republicans, they do care about their kids, right? I don't think any parent have confidence to send their kids to the school district like that.
Yeah. And maybe that's why there's so many people running, because they feel the same way.
Changes are needed.
And Auggie, so there are 3 positions open, and so the top 3 vote getters will be elected. Is that how it works?
Yeah, that's right.
They don't have to get
You get 3 votes, and the top 3 vote getters will become the new board members. And I know there's I think there's 2 incumbents running for re-election.
Yeah, I think you're right. So what we're going to do, we're going to keep you for the next segment, I think, because we just got started talking about this issue. And then we'll bring Nohl Rossen in for the last part of the show to talk to him. You are listening to the Chips and Salsa Show here on Central City Radio, King FM. I'm Alice Lara. You're with
Auggie Bartning.
our guest, Zhang, who's running for the Roosevelt School Board District. Don't go away. Stay with us.
I'm
Nice
Dan.
job.
Good job.
Business
You guys
owners
share-
need more
share
customers,
this on-
offer fantasy sports contests, and generate more sales. Restaurants, bars, hotels, auto dealerships, real estate offices. Whatever your business, fantasy sports contests can help you increase your
Yeah,
sales
maybe we
and bring
shouldn't
you
have
more
said
loyal
Andy's
customers.
Republican.
Visit fanify.com.
I guess we didn't really.
So do we know other candidates with the party?
So Alice, I'm gonna come back
What's that?
in with the live broadcast on the
You
Central
don't
City.
know. You don't know them.
So
But,
kind of when you come back in, kind of do a shout
Yeah,
out
you can look it up at
to the
county.
Central City
Alright.
page people.
Find out.
But
Kind of
do
like a commercial,
When
yeah.
I filled out the form, I didn't even fill out the party affiliate.
Yeah, you
And
don't
then,
have to.
invite them
So you don't.
to, download the app
unless you
and
do an
then
additional search.
join you.
But it ends up being a lot
I'll
of
probably
times
just do a
that that's
segment.
how
Yeah, do a
how
segment.
people campaign.
Yeah.
Right.
We already got
So,
27
because that's the
people
groups that they know. So even though it's nonpartisan, like you said, people should only care
Zhang is
about
doing it.
their kids and the education
Yeah, I'm gonna
system.
do on the
A
Central
lot of
City
times it
page.
becomes partisan.
Is this the Chips and Salsa page, right?
Yeah.
It was in there like I forget. Was it 1,000 on that
Right.
page?
And school board, I mean, maybe for a smaller school board.
And then
like
3,000. So
Not as much, because it's so crowded.
that's
but,
about 4,000 just
you know,
in that, and
I mean,
then all their
look,
reach.
You started kind of out of your LD meeting. I'm sure a lot of the school board members go to the Democrat LD meeting, and they will talk about, they'll present on what's going on with the school district and stuff like that. So,
So I shared it now to mine. So now it's going to be on mine.
is this right now?
So this is what's going on.
Was this right now?
Yeah.
She's taping us right now. So don't give away all your
Did you just say she's taping?
Yes, I'm old school.
You're,
Recording.
you're taping us in the breaks? Oh, my Lord.
So this is
Taping.
this
No
is-
moment for
so
rest
this is
here.
live, real time live.
Yeah.
Wow, this is amazing.
Hold on.
I didn't know you could do this.
I have a sleep in my eye. I just gotta get
There's
it.
all kinds of stuff.
It's easier to keep it going throughout the whole show than stop it and restart it again.
This is amazing.
Yeah, it is.
I got a lot
Calls from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Yeah, it's a powerful tool. So yeah, the quicker you get on it and get back going, the better.
Which one? Oh, yeah. I saw the
He was at 1.3 million views.
really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just red. Okay, so we're gonna come back. We're gonna give some love to Julian. To radio station.
All right, 1 minute.
So could that be like the same people like watching it over and over again, or not? Is that like a 3 million unique?
It had, well, here's the deal too. He had 10,000 likes on his Facebook page, that page, now he has over 20,000.
Wow.
How many just still have?
Our show, we only have, we had 1,213 likes on our page. We've got some YouTube
Come on, Alice. You gotta put out you gotta make a good selfie video.
Yeah, do videos
Those
constantly.
work.
They work. So that James C does videos almost every day, right?
Yeah.
He's been really
So that's
he's great at it.
how you get it.
What
All right.
it is, I mean, when you get a really good video, that's kind of when it takes off.
Well, you never know which one's gonna be good. 10 seconds.
You never know.
All right, stand by. Then I'm gonna get, as soon as I get you in, I'm gonna start recording. All right, here we go.
Like, okay, so I'm really confused because like my dad's Latino and my mom is white. Does that mean I can only listen to like half the Chips N Salsa?
That is the smartest thing, I think. This is Alice Lara. We're here on the Chips N Salsa Show with my good friend Auggie.
Hello.
I'm so glad you're here. You know what? It's so much better. I mean, I've done it with by myself, but it's so much better to have a co-host, I think.
Yeah, it's good to be back with you. It's been months.
It's been a long time, yeah. And we're going to get back to our guest, Andy Zhang, here in a bit, who's running for the Roosevelt School Board District. But what we'd like to do is remind you that we're doing this. We're broadcasting live on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Hello. And we just started here. Julian Allison, he is the owner of Central City Radio. And we're on the King FM side. That's a talk radio side to this. So we want to show him some love because it's been so good. We've been hearing Julian now, what, about a year and a half or so?
Yeah, it's gonna be 2 years.
It's going to be 2 years. If you're interested in doing a show of this sort, give him a call. 480, I don't have a number memorized, do you?
776
776
5060
5060.
5760. I don't even know my
Oh, 560. Well, go to the website. Go to Central City Radio. You can find them on Facebook, or go to the website, centralcityradio.com, and you can get a hold of them that way. But, this live Facebook broadcasting, I'm old school. Julian's making fun of me because I said, yeah, they're taping us now. Recording us now. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, it's really a hot ticket.
It's
I think right now just people like the live feature of it because it's kind of raw. You can say something crazy.
It is, and I'm surprised we haven't said anything crazy yet.
Wow.
Will we? Will that happen?
I mean, it's possible.
And if you'd like to, supporters of the Chips N Salsa Show, you can go to the Chips N Salsa Show Facebook site. You can share it, and then it goes to your timeline. That way you can show it to other people, and they can make fun of us.
Right. Well, if you say something crazy.
Yeah. That could still happen. But we have been talking about crazy things with our guest here, Andy Zhang. And he's running for the Roosevelt School Board District. He told us that they spent $4.4 million.
They didn't have.
Wow.
Right. So we haven't really talked already about the consequence, right?
Go for it.
So as a direct consequence, they had to cut like more than 30 jobs from the school district.
They cut 30 jobs.
I believe they've already done that. So, because eventually they need to, you know,
Make it up.
make it up for the shortfall with the budget, right? So,
And were these do you happen to know if they're mostly teachers that they cut, or you know?
to my knowledge, that was staff. You know, but it's going to have an impact on our kids,
Certainly.
right?
Certainly it is. Now, I already have you elected to the school board. What will you do? That's obviously your very first mission, is to go after the budget. But what other ideas and things do you have that you would like to implement or see on the school board?
Obviously, don't have any mechanism, you know, to make sure, you know, things are implemented correctly. There's the school board is supposed to be a, you know, first and foremost, is to focus on their students. And on the road, with my understanding of the school board, you got to be a watchdog, right? To see how things are being done. To make sure that things are done correctly. I think they failed miserably. How could this have happened under their watch over the course of 2 years? It's mind-boggling.
But what else? What do you do in your day-to-day life? Are you in education at all, or?
I've been a good student, by the way.
Yeah.
So I am
That counts.
Yeah.
a consultant in the information technology and supply chain management area. So my MBA degree from ASU is in the supply chain management field. So my job is to basically to implement IT projects with customers, or you know, they're basically corporations, government agencies, all over the country, in some cases around the world. So I get a chance to basically interact with different companies, institutions, and with people actually from all over the world. Because the people I'm dealing with, they could be physically here, it could be abroad. And sometimes I try to even travel abroad to work as well.
As you travel abroad, what do you notice that's different over there? And well, your education too. You were educated in China.
I received my college education in China. My graduate school education obviously here in the U.S. at ASU. So.
Because of course, they were always talking about how the Asian population are much more dedicated and disciplined. And kind of it's a little softer over here. Do you know anything about that? Have you found that to be true?
The Asian Americans, or the Asian Americans, they're somewhat distinct group, among even compared to other minorities, right? So one thing that I've been thinking about is that if you look at the traits and the attributes of Asian Americans as a whole, right? The Asian Americans, they believe in like self-reliance, right? They're high income earners. The median average household income of Asian households actually is much higher than all the rest, richer groups. I think it's more than 20% higher than the next highest group, the white group. They're the most educated group. So with all these traits and attributes, one would think it will make the perfect Republican Party.
Yes.
Voters, right? They would vote for Republican, but that's not the case.
Kind of like a Latino thing going on here. We're talking about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, that's not the case. That's not what we're seeing.
Well, I think that's been the target. I know that the chairman of the Arizona Republican Party has been doing a lot of outreach with the Asian American community in Arizona.
Well, that's a good point. And actually, one reason I think why Asians are not voting, one of the reasons Asians are not voting for the Republicans, that Republican Party really hasn't done much, if it's done anything at all, to reach out to Asian Americans.
I was a member of the dragon boat race team. The Arizona Republican Party had a dragon boat race team on the Tempe Town Lake last year. And I think that a lot of people were surprised to see the Republican Party present at this event. So there was a lot of people came up to us, and we're very surprised.
We're starting to do something. We are just about out of time for this segment. Andy, we'll have to have you back. Keep us posted on what you're doing. Real quick, do you have a contact number if somebody, or a contact email if someone wants to get a hold of you?
Yeah, my number is 480-310-7527. And my email is myandy99@yahoo.com.
Nice, easy one. And we'll say that in the next segment as well.
Yeah,
Thank
right.
you so much.
Well, thanks for having me.
Appreciate it. And stay tuned for more of the Chips N Salsa Show here on Central City Radio, King FM with Alice Lara.
You should say when the election is.
Come back. Let's just roll in here and get it.
Yeah, we could in the future talk about more about
You're here at the GED Pep Talk Center. We've got a number of pep talks that's motivating.
That's interesting.
Yeah, kind of.
Sometimes things don't
That's
always
not
turn out
enough.
the
But
way
it is.
That's okay.
That is interesting.
That's the culture.
Yeah.
Well, it's a lot of factors. I have been.
Make sure you download the app right now, centralcityradio.com. Download it on your iPhone or your Android
But
device.
you're right. Like, when you
Chips
kind
N
of
Salsa
said that,
Show
it's kind of-
continues. You want to hear more of the show?
Somebody's borrowing.
Go to the app or go to the website,
For the
centralcityradio.com.
last 2 years.
Holla!
Yeah. In the last 2 years, have you ever met Mary Wong?
No, Robert told me he was going to introduce.
Good work, Sonia.
Thank you.
You sure you met Mary?
You guys have me back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I see.
So we'll see how this. Oh, I was getting stats when it's on the page.
How'd you get that though?
I think it's because it's on the business page, on the Central City page.
But I'm doing it through Chips N Salsa. That's never popped up.
That's never popped up?
You have a special app on your phone or something?
I don't think so.
This ought to be good.
That's weird. This is a good tool to have. What kind of phone you got? I want this type of phone. I want.
And the Galaxy S6 Edge.
Galaxy, what? I don't think it's this type of phone. Maybe it's just
It could be because I haven't updated it yet.
yeah.
I'm still doing the helpless. Yeah, I know, but yes.
Go to the Chips N Salsa Facebook page. Scroll down a little bit.
Great things are happening in teaching. And put it back in your life. Don't try to convince yourself.
Should be down before you started posting stuff.
Find out how you can make more.
I had stats.
Oh, you're recording all that.
Yeah, I was recording it earlier.
I would refresh the page.
I wish you were down there with us, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, please. I'm trying to avoid that. Like,
I wish you were
I
down
can't. I don't know how y'all deal with that kind of. I can't be around. That's
It's
just.
really funny because part of their group came to our corner and we're trying to incite something because they're holding up a sign like, stand up to killer cops or something like that. They were ignorant fools.
I don't know how you deal with that.
This message is for all
That's
of
why I can't.
Sometimes you got to take a real deep breath and hope that there's a confrontation. Because that's where it's most fun. We want it to be peaceful, but I got to tell you, there's nothing like, if you want to get out like, all your aggression without hitting somebody, just yell and scream. That's the perfect platform right there.
I guess people do. Get down with that, I guess.
And talking about on there.
All right, 1 minute. 1 minute.
Big crowds. And even when I think about going to a concert, I like the smaller venues now, like the casinos, the celebrity theater.
Celebrity theater, yeah.
I wish that was the case. I wish that was the case, like old times, that we could just sit in an arena and, air out our grievances on a mic and have everybody go home and it's not a mob scene.
Put on some gloves.
Call red.
Nah, I'd take out mopping in the first round.
Round knockout?
How long you done radio for us?
Free government program that
Gee, you said you have a radio
offers
voice.
one-on-one advice
Because that man
and
can't fight.
recommendations.
What's the producer kid for that?
Road donut and might
94
be
to
able to.
94
Really honor stuff?
Awkward between.
And we want to help you. And now
You've
there
done
are
this your whole
more
life.
ways to help.
All right, 10 seconds. Stand by.
Rally for LE.
MakingHomeAffordable.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Treasury, HUD, and the Ad Council.
It's time for the Chips N Salsa Show. Vámonos.
I love Chips and Salsa. Can I listen too?
You got it. Take it away. Eso.
We want everyone to listen to the Chips and Salsa Show here. We're on here Saturdays, Central City Radio coming from, right, Auggie?
Y vámonos.
Vámonos. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we want to say, and Auggie reminded me, go ahead and give our listeners, watchers, information about that race, the school district.
So it's a general election only race, and Andy's still collecting his signatures. He has to get those in by August 10th. So if anyone lives in the South Phoenix district wants to sign his petition, call him at the number he provided, which is 480-310-7527. And the election for that school board race and all school board races will be November 7th? This year?
Whatever the first
Tuesday. I
Tuesday
think
is
it's
in-
the 7th.
I've got my super duper calendar. Let's see. It is, oh wow, the 7th.
The 8th. It's the
Oh, the
8th.
second, that's right, the 8th.
November 8th. When we'll be voting for our president.
That's a big one. You know what, but that will be a big giant turnout.
Oh, yes.
Talking
Especially this year.
about, how do you like this segment? Talking about big giant turnouts, Auggie.
Protests.
Our next guest is, we've had him on before, Nohl, who was there at the Phoenix protests last night. That was at 24th Street in Camelback. And he was kind enough last night to talk to us on the air for our KFNX show. And we thought, let's have him back here to give us the actual rundown of what, happened. And he survived. You survived, Neil?
Yeah, I did. That's how we are at Rally for LE. We're survivors. We stand up for our cops, we stand up for our city, and we stand up for our community.
And I failed to mention Nohl Rosen, and Nohl spelled Nohl, in case you want to find him on Facebook. And that's Rally for LE Law Enforcement.
Yeah, Rally for Law Enforcement, if you want to spell it out. I think most people can find us online. We've got a website, www.rallyforle.com. And you can find us on Facebook at Rally for LE, and on Twitter. We're on Twitter, Rally for LE on Twitter too. So
You're everywhere, and I know you also do. I've seen you do a little live Facebook broadcast as well.
every once in a while.
And then one more interesting thing about you, you're kind of a cat guy, right? Like cats.
Yeah, and I'm a business owner. I can sympathize with what the businesses were going through yesterday. Down at 24th and Camelback, some of them wanted to shut down early, and thankfully they actually a lot of them stayed open. A lot of them are not going to let the other side, Maupin's mob, shut them down.
Now,
So.
Nohl, because everybody that listens isn't necessarily from the Phoenix area, but 24th Street and Camelback is a very, very high traffic, exclusive area. Right? The Biltmore
Yeah,
section of
very
it,
much
so.
Yeah, it's got a mix mash of stuff, but it's pretty high end there in the Biltmore area. And, yeah, it is a high traffic area even on a day like that. When I got there, there were already police supporters there. When I got there, it was around about 6 o'clock, 5:30, 6 o'clock, and we were already gathering. And we had really, that's all you saw for about an hour, and then the other side showed up. The people that blindly follow Maupin showed up, and it got a little bit testy, I think.
And for our audience, in case you're listening for the first time, he's talking about the Reverend Jarrett Maupin, who is the organizer of the BLM Black Lives Matter. Protest, right?
Well, I don't even want to call him a reverend. What man of God would actually do what he's doing? So he shouldn't really call himself a reverend. That's a lie. He should take that moniker off. That title, that self-title that he's given himself. In my opinion, he's a race baiter. He's an opportunist. He's a charlatan. He's a false prophet. We all talk, in the Bible, beware of false prophets. Well, Sharpton's name is next to Maupin's, and, a few other people, Farrakhan, because that's where he's learned all this stuff, and, his hero Farrakhan and all of this other stuff, and he's basically an opportunist, and he comes in, he only cares about the camera time. He's just like Sharpton.
So was he there the whole entire time?
No, he wasn't. Not that we saw. From what has been reported from our side is that he was there for maybe 15, 20 minutes, and then he got in a car and left. As soon as he got his camera time, that's what, he just jumped in and left.
So how many people were there total, would you say, when you were there?
Oh, God, I don't even think I could count. On our side, there could have been about 40 or 50 on our side alone, which was more than when we had the last time he marched, because he had a mob with him when he marched towards police headquarters last Friday night. But this was different. He wanted to shut down an affluent area to make. I don't even know what his point was going to be, but he had a list. He had a 12-point list of demands that he wanted the city to meet in order. And guess who came down to collect it? Chief Yonner, the Phoenix police chief, came down there to collect it. And I was really disappointed because you would think that they would arrest people the moment they stepped out on that street, the moment that they started blocking part of the intersection. And they did block part of the street. And Phoenix PD just let them do it.
So Nohl, let me ask you, because that really bothered me. The last Friday I was watching some of this coverage, and I thought, this no longer is a peaceful protest. It's a disturbance. And they don't arrest them, and all the police resources that go into that, the money that must cost, the inconvenience to our citizens who pay taxes. We're talking about taxes. And so tell me why they don't arrest them. Your theory, I guess.
Beats the hell out of me. I really think that there must be something going on. Either they are afraid of him because they're afraid that that he's just going to bring a race riot, and he's already done that. He's already. I mean, we looked at the one at the march downtown. There was rocks thrown at police.
I saw that.
And our side was asked by Phoenix PD to fall back. Okay. We were there.
Like you guys were the troublemakers?
Yeah.
Get back
well, no, I think it wasn't like that. I get along very well with the rank and file and the people on the beat. So they basically asked us, to fall back because they were going to march towards 620, which is police headquarters. And we did that because in their mindset, if we had gone in there, because if you're talking about a mob of 500 to 12 of us that were there, it could have been, a little bloody, and the police were telling us, like, if we do this, we can save not only our lives, but police lives too, because officers would have to come in to save us, to pull us away from that. So we obliged, because our side is going to be the peaceful side. We're going to be the reasonable side. We don't want any chaos in the community. But this time, we weren't going to stand down this time.
Was there a march last night as well?
No, I think they wanted to. There was a lot of shouts of Black Lives Matter. They were the thing that they always shout. The hands up, don't shoot, which we all know is a lie. And they still believe it. They still believe that lie to this day. They had signs. I heard someone actually say that they want to kill a cop. There's just all that hatred.
You heard that shouted out?
I heard that shouted out because when when I was on the show with you, I was walking across the street to their former corner to try to make our way to the corner that they were at, because we decided that if they weren't going to move, then we were going to shift position in an effort to kind of just push them to move. I mean, not physically push them, but to, just say, hey, we're coming. And eventually they ended up on one corner. And that was after Maupin had his little thing with the media. And the media was on our corner, but as soon as Maupin shows up, as soon as his people show up, media went right to that corner. They didn't even want to hear what we had to say.
And so the intersection was not completely.
No,
closed.
it was not.
It was that section.
It was just that portion, which was like on the crosswalk when you're actually crossing over 24th Street on the south side of the street is where they were blocking the street.
Wow. Well, We have more of Nohl Rossen back here in just a moment, so keep listening to the Chips N Salsa Show. He was there at the Black Lives Matter protest, but he was defending the police and our guys and gals in blue. I'm Alice Lara, and Auggie Bartning's here too.
Yes.
So stay with us for more of the Chips N Salsa Show here on Central City Radio, King FM. When we come back, Julie passed me a note, so we can talk about Loretta Lynch too. So I don't know, who was I talking to about this? Remember she was here a few weeks ago.
Students, when you hear the reason or
Yes,
the reason,
yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, didn't she come here to meet her state? That kind of sounds like who, Loretta Lynch.
Oh, yeah.
That's when she, was playing with Clinton, but didn't she come here to
Yeah, she did.
basically federalize?
Yeah, she met with Phoenix PD and of course that's all been in the news. We all know that.
We talked about last week.
Yeah. If I was any self-respecting police chief, I would have turned her down. And Yonner just gave to the other side. He is not on our side, and it's very clear because I've gone out to 620 quite a few times with the flag and a sign of thanks, and I meet with the rank and file, and they always coming out of the building. But when has Yonner ever come down from his ivory tower to come and thank us for being there? He doesn't. But if it's Black Lives Matter and it's Mop and his mob, he's at their disposal, and I don't get it. I think there is something going on in the city. We know the city council, Black Lives Matter has the ear of the city council, and that was very apparent when I was sitting in the city council.
They're kind of afraid.
Well, you know what? I think they need to start, you know what?
It's horrible, but I think.
Because Moffat does make a lot of noise.
He makes a lot of noise, but I gotta tell you something, this is the way I feel. I think our city should be less afraid of Moffat, more afraid of losing support from our side.
Should be.
Because if they lose support from our side, and we back them rank and file, we will not, Yonner, I made it very clear last night, talking to one of the Phoenix PD officers yesterday, who asked us if we wouldn't mind, leaving, clearing out, leaving, he asked us if we wouldn't mind.
1 minute, 1 minute.
Leaving so that they can get the other side to leave and that everybody can go home. And I told them, I said, I want to meet with your chief one-on-one.
Let me interrupt you for a second. Do you guys want to stay and do another hour? Or do you need to get?
I need to get going, yeah.
I'm cool. I can handle it.
Andy, can you stay another hour? And all three of us can be on the microphone.
I can move over if you want.
So we're gonna finish this show out.
I've been on radio.
Oh, that's fine.
Hey,
And then I'll say that we're gonna do another hour and then we'll
I love this
do you
show.
usually stay on 2 hours?
I love chips and salsa.
Yeah, we had that when we left last time.
Oh, you
Chips and salsa, yeah. We used to have chips and salsa.
But you know what? I don't mind.
I know.
Recording it.
I'm gonna try to bring some next weekend.
Okay.
No,
All right, stand by. We're going in.
Can't hide how I feel,
No.
Safety Administration.
And now, back to more of the Chips N Salsa Show.
Which of the Latin countries are you from? The one with the Civil War, the one with the cocaine?
Welcome back to the Chips N Salsa Show. We are here with Alice Lara,
Hola, getting our guac on here.
Auggie Bartning, myself, and we've been talking with Nohl Rossen, who is at the rally or the protest last night on 24th Street in Camelback.
I call it the Black Lives Matter Cry Fest because they are whiners and complainers.
Okay, or the Cry Fest. I haven't heard that one yet.
They are.
But he is sharing some interesting insights from the Rally for LE, the other side, and what went down last night.
Yeah.
We were talking over the break of Julie reminded us that our Attorney General Loretta Lynch was here a couple of weeks ago, and then of course she had that famous plane visit with President Clinton. And we discussed last week, in fact, in our show, we had Jeff Prather on, and evidently when she met with our police chief, Yonner, and others, there was talk of that maybe the federal government is trying to federalize our police forces. Do you have some thoughts on that, Nohl?
Oh boy, where do I begin on that one?
And you only have a half hour. But hey, before you start, I do want to say, after our show is normally revving up with the Red Show, And Reverend Jackson is a little under the weather today, so he won't be here, but we decided we're going to go ahead and take his hour. Julian's going to let us, and he's going to stay here and take care of us. So if we don't get everything in this next segment, just stick around, and we're going to have Andy back in here, and we'll just do all politics. Auggie has to leave us, darn it. But that's okay.
Yeah.
You can have it.
I'll come back.
All right, now I'll let you blab it out.
Boy, where are my thoughts on that one? Does anyone actually really believe that they just met on the tarmac to talk about their grandchildren? I don't buy that one for a minute.
Just a cup of coffee.
I don't think you're. Well, you know, I've heard a lot about you know, some of the conspiracy theories, you know, and why she was here. I do think the federal government is trying to push its way in, just like they always do, into our lives. Whether or not they were trying to federalize police, that really kind of remains a mystery. I think there were a lot of things that were discussed, but Chief Yanner, I think if any self-respecting police chief, I would have said no. I don't know how hard it is to say
no to the
say
Attorney
no.
General?
Well, it's pretty easy. You just say N-O, like, you know, it's just a word. I really...
And as a police chief, and
Yeah,
you know this information better than I will, as a police chief, if the mayor or other people ask me, like, oh, police chief Yanner, we'd like you to meet with the Attorney General.
Well, I think then in that case, if he's ordered to, he probably has to, because I believe it's the city manager that hires the police chief. So, you know, he'd have to follow those orders, or he might lose his job. You know, but I think that I would rather lose my job saying no to lynch than to, you know, swallow any dignity and just meet with that woman. I mean, we all know that anyone that's tied to the Obama administration is bad news, and I think that Yanner should have said no to her.
Let's talk about the fact that we are going to get a new police chief in October,
Yes.
and that's Jerry Williams. Is her name right on it?
That's right.
Do you have some thoughts on her?
People have been hearing my thoughts on this one. I'm not a fan of hers. I really.
She was a former. She has experience.
Yeah,
with the
she
police
was.
department.
She was with the Phoenix Police Department. She was for a good number of years, but I think that the most qualified was not hired. My opinion. This is my opinion. I think this was affirmative action. This was politically correctness and you know, running amok. Because look how timely it is. You know, we have a Black Lives Matter protesting, and then you announce it, you know, the police chief around the same time, and of course I'm sure Black Lives Matter, you know, is probably thrilled with the choice. I wasn't. I look at who I think is the best choice and who I think is the most qualified to do the job. And I really liked Mike Kurtenbach. You know, he was an assistant. You know, he's an assistant chief. He's a community cop. I think that's what we need as a community cop. And I've been hearing wonderful things about Kurtenbach. I had a chance to meet him when I was outside the hospital when Officer Glasser was in the hospital fighting for his life. Kurtenbach came down and I had a chance to meet with him for a little bit, and he remembered me when there was a meet and greet for the 3 finalists. I had a chance to meet him. I was very impressed with him, and I thought that he was the best man for the job. I think he was the best fit for the job, but obviously Ed Zerker, the city manager, thought otherwise. And I wrote Ed Zerker, and I told him that I wanted to see Kurtenbach as the chief because I figured, I felt that he was the best choice, and he was somebody that we can have a seat at the table with, the pro-police side. I don't think we're going to have much of a seat at the table with this new police chief.
But Kurtenbach he'll remain.
Yeah, he's going to still be assistant chief, but I just got to wonder, I kind of put it out there jokingly, I thought that maybe some officers that don't like the new choice maybe they might file for early retirement.
Well, listen, we've got to talk about retirement. We've got to retire this hour, but we are going to stick around for another hour with Nohl and Andy. Augie, we haven't got time too much. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. We'll take care of it next time.
Maybe Cheryl. When will you be back? Soon?
Hopefully soon. Not next weekend. I'll be in California.
traveling man, always. Yeah. It's always good to see you.
Yeah, thank you for having me back.
And
it's very interesting.
Friday show, but you're always welcome here anytime.
Well, appreciate it.
Good. Well, thank you again for joining us here on the Saturday edition of the Chips and Salsa Show, and stay tuned for Reverend Up with Red. We'll be doing a show as well. Have a wonderful weekend.